Welcome to this guided meditation. I'm Anne Ahokangas. So take a moment and relax. And just get yourself comfortable. And know that you are life itself. So become aware of your body. Now notice your breath as it moves in and out, naturally, unforced. You are here. You are here in this now moment. Release all your concerns for the day and just simply allow yourself to do nothing. Don't do anything at all. Just sit and relax. Just a simple knowing that you are here now, and here is all there is. Allowing your senses to be open as they just naturally function by themselves, without your attention, intention, or assistance. Calmly, you just relax and allow yourself to be. There's no hurry. There's no waiting. There is no sense of what will come or what is next. There is no concern for this. You are simply here, relaxed, with no expectations. No concentration or engaging on any ideas. Releasing all sense of time, such as the past. Whatever is past is gone. Say thank you to it and release it. And know whatever may be called the future is only imagined. There is only here and now. And in this now moment is the greatest power of all. Releasing all history, just being in the now. In this place there is no time. Recognizing that we may perceive as things in life appear and disappear, come and go. But for now there is nothing to pursue, nothing to follow. Say to yourself, I am. I am. Feel the completeness in this. Who you are did not become in steps or stages. You are, have always been, and will always be. Feel the sense of being, the feeling, I am. There's no need to add a story to it. Just sense this existence. You are a part of this eternal sense of existence, not separate from it. And also, you are aware of all that comes and goes. Notice that the watching of what appears and disappears takes place in this now moment. For this now moment is not appearing and disappearing. Simply the thoughts and images are. For you are simply here now. And noticing your breath as it is happening in this absolutely beautiful space of being. And all your senses are functioning in this space of being. Noticing your body and realizing that you are more than this body. Observing your senses. You are so much more than the senses. Observe your thought. You are separate from these thoughts. You are the observer and the thinker. Observe your mind. You are more than just your mind. You are beyond mind. Observe your experience. You are beyond experience. Observe change. You are yourself, unchanging. Take a moment to remember you're not waiting. There is nothing to come that can give you anything more than what you already have, that can give you anything more than what you already are. You may ask, am I merely dreaming? Imagining? Or simply noticing and observing? Your body is here. You may notice this body, or notice something else. It makes no difference to the awareness that is you. You are not the size of your body, nor its shape. And yet through this body, you have the sense of being here, with hands and fingers. You have a sense of others, of the vast world. And you are a small part of it, and yet all of it, all at the same time. As the person, you are inside this body. As consciousness, this body is inside of you. It has always been like this, and shall always be. If you notice any stress in the body, it is a sensation. Become aware of this. And know it is not you. It is merely a sensation arising in the body. You may call it yours, but these sensations come and go. As all things that are perceived and observed come and go. Allow yourself to flow in your natural rhythm. There is no need to struggle with your mind or push away thoughts. Allow them to float by like clouds, and simply remain as the self, as you are now. Everything is in place for life to unfold in its natural way, for there is divine order. As you take a deep breath in, remember that you are not separate from life. You are life itself. You are life itself. Now release any concentration or focus on objects, and just rest inside your own stillness, your own source, your own self. Notice this perfect now moment. And remember, there is nothing to become. Nothing to change or fix. Nothing to keep or push away. There is no better place to be. No self to become or unbecome. Knowing this, allow your joy to be complete. Simply be here now, for you are here. Notice this feeling of being here. Notice how it is so much more than a geographical location. Simply, you are here with yourself. Undivided, perfect, whole, complete, happy, releasing all stories, for they're not needed. Releasing all victories and defeats. Allow yourself to confirm your own completeness. Allow yourself to understand that in this completeness, you may enjoy the world without fear. Here it just is. You are not a victim or a victor. You are pure awareness. Pure awareness in this field of consciousness. Releasing all concerns, all need for approval, all need for justification. Allow yourself to become accustomed to being empty and yet full. You are simply here. So allow these words, the essence of what you have experienced and heard, grow inside your heart. And return to you multiplied as a magnificent life. Please join with me in affirming, and so it is.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And thank you for joining us here at the Unity Spiritual Center in Hamilton. We're happy to welcome you if you're here in the sanctuary, and those of you who are joining us at home, or if you live in an assisted living facility, wherever you are. You could be on the beach. We are so grateful that you're joining us today. My name is Marcia Daly, and I am your presider for today. We begin our service by dedicating this service to the Hamilton Regional Indian Center. Their vision, creating change that empowers urban Aboriginal people, and their mission to provide the urban Aboriginal people with the tools to achieve a balanced, holistic lifestyle. Let's also begin with the City of Hamilton land acknowledgement. The City of Hamilton is situated upon the traditional territories of the Erie, Neutral, Huron-Wendat, Haudenosaunee, and Mississaugas. This land is covered by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, which was an agreement between the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe to share and care for the resources around the Great Lakes. Today, the City of Hamilton is home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, North America, and we recognize that we must do more to learn about the rich history of this land so that we can better understand our roles as residents, neighbors, partners, and caretakers. And I'd also like to invite Margot Jameson, who was the winner of the trip to Kansas City to attend the Unity Convention there in the month of June, to talk about her experience.
Good morning.
Morning.
This here?
You're good. That's
Yes. Unity Village Convention. It all started on a Sunday morning as I was leaving Hamilton Unity Church after a lovely service. It was enjoyable being a new member, but I was surprised when somebody poked my arm as I headed for the door. "Did you put your name in the box, Marco? You might win," President Jean Jefferson said, smiling and holding out a piece of paper and pen. Knowing the superwoman wouldn't lead me astray, I scribbled a signature and it was dropped into the box in the foyer. "What's that about?" I mused. "Maybe you could win a book or a subscription to the Daily Word or something nice like that." I shrugged, headed for home, never giving the box another thought. And that was the beginning of a new and wonderful adventure. A few days later, my cell phone rang as I was having lunch in a restaurant. "You've won the Unity Village Convention contest," friend Jackie Hadaway yelled out. I almost choked on my sandwich. Impossible. But what a thrill. And that was my introduction to the 2022 Unity Village Convention. An open-hearted, informative, relaxing, and totally inspiring 6-day adventure in Kansas City, USA. 6 church people and myself were signed up. Reverend Ann, Randy Armstrong, Jean Jefferson and her daughter, Catherine Craig, Marcia Daly, Laura Baird, and myself. Time was running out, and every visitor attending had to have an up-to-date passport, good vaccination report, and insurance coverage. Thanks to Brenda Burnett, everything came together perfectly. God bless you, Brenda. Everybody was relieved to see that their passports were fine. So on Sunday, June 12th, Prime Limousine Service drove our group in a limo from our own Unity Spiritual Center, Hamilton, to Buffalo Niagara International Airport. From there, we flew to Philadelphia, then continued on to the huge Chicago O'Hare International Airport. And if you've been to that place, you know how huge that is. Finally landing in the Kansas City Airport. The cancellation of our plane in Buffalo for hours was only a small hitch, which caused us to bed down late, then get up very early the next day. But Rev Ann and Randy Armstrong handled it all, cool as cucumbers, and we took off in high spirits the following morning. Airline inspections at all airports were thorough, but friendly. No problems at all. The Unity Village properties are stunningly beautiful and cover many acres of green land, supporting fountains and bevies of colorful flowers and trees. Everywhere a wonderland. Each building is unique, and one special one contains silent unity, where lights and prayers are on constantly. Every day, a bus was available to transport us between Unity Village and the Marriott Kansas City Overland Park Hotel, where classes were held. Many exciting programs were offered to visitors who signed up. A few examples: workshops on various subjects in different rooms. Example, using joyous live music, hiring and keeping good ministers, authors speaking from their own inspiring books, etc. Those were some of the seminars that were held in those rooms. Meals included a Tuesday luncheon and Thursday evening banquet, which was beautifully put on, as well as reception hosted by Unity World headquarters on Monday evening. Excellent speakers on various topics were on stage throughout the week, and many awards were presented to achievers and longtime members. Overall, this was a week of love and kindness that featured enlightening ideas, tasty food, the building of new Unity friendships, both in Canada and the USA, plus the pleasure of hearing, the pleasure of hearing delightful live music performed by experts, a real awakening to the powerful spirit of this precious place. And I didn't put in, and I was sorry afterward, that Deidre Francois, who is one of our people here in this country, was marvelous. She really outdid herself on stage with her beautiful voice. Overall, this was a week of love and kindness, as I said, and meeting all these wonderful new Unity friends, plus the pleasure of hearing that delightful live music. As declared in the Marriott Hotel's welcoming sheet, the world is waiting for you. And it certainly was at this convention. Happiness was everywhere during that week at Unity World headquarters, our spiritual home. Thank you to this beautiful place for an unforgettable experience. And the next time I go to a restaurant and win something like that, I'll try to be more sophisticated about it. Thank you. Wonderful trip.
Thank you so much, Margot, for that wonderful account. Okay. All right, so we are going to start with our first song, If I Had a Hammer. Wow. Originally written by Peter, Paul, and Mary, and sung for us by Emilio Zares.
If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger I'd hammer out warning. I'd hammer about love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. If I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I'd ring out warning, I'd ring about love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. If I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out warning, I'd sing about love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. I've got a bell, a hammer, and I've got a bell, and I've got a song to sing all over this land. It's the hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom, it's a song about love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land. It's a hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom, song about love between my brothers and my sisters all over this land, all over this land, all over this land, all over this
Woo! Thank you, Emilio. And now to lead us on our spiritual journey, Reverend Anne Ahokangas.
And Emilio's throwing his jewelry at the audience. It's a good thing you're sitting further back. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're here for the first time, why don't you pop something into the live chat if you're watching us live, or into the comment section below and let us know how you either found us or how you enjoyed our presentation today. So let's begin with my favorite thing to do, and that is opening prayer. Because I think that when each of us takes the time as often as we want to connect with the Spirit within, that life just gets so much grander and better. So just take a moment and get yourself settled into that place of knowing that there is only one, and that is who you are. It is living you, breathing you, it is who you are. And if you're comfortable, say these words with me. I believe life is good, God is all there is, and love is the only power. I align myself with the power within to create my best life. And so it is. And this beautiful song, Our Thoughts, Our Prayers. Join in singing this if you want to.
Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And know that God, and every thought becomes a prayer. Again, our thoughts are prayers, the tools that we create with. Our thoughts are prayers that Spirit resonates with. seek a higher consciousness, a state of mindfulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Listen to what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there. And every thought becomes a prayer. And every thought becomes a prayer. And every thought becomes a prayer.
The word for today, taken from the Absolute Word, is relationships. I behold the Christ essence in myself and in others. These words were written by Richard and Mary Alice Jafala. And they remind me that the same divine essence underlies every seeming individual, including myself. There is a level in every human soul which knows no conflict, competition, or contempt. A level which knows only peace, harmony, and love. In fact, it is peace and harmony and love because it is the Christ essence of us. When it is hard for me to see this divine essence, I can improve the situation by lifting my awareness. I redirect negative reactions by remembering the Christ in me, my divine essence. Then I can begin to recognize it in others. In my mind and heart, I remember oneness. Beyond the outer facade of hurt feelings, fears, and apprehension is our Christ identity. Seeing it in others helps them see it in themselves.
This is a fun one. Look at the person next to you. Say God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together, we come together, in the name of love. Now look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. From every walk of life, every creed and color, friendship reunite in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. we come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together, we come together in the name of love. We come together, we come together in the name of love.
So today, we're talking about this idea of you and I are we. And some of us know it some of the time, some of us know it all of the time, and some of us don't know it at all. And so I'd like to look at it, and I'd like to look at it from the lens of relationships. So let's explore the relationships we have with those closest to us and those farthest from us as well. This is a little image that I created a few years ago, and I just thought it was kind of appropriate, that idea of oneness. So how all are shaped by how each of us understands and relates the collective we is what I'd really like to look at. Because we are shaped by our world, we're shaped by the people in it, we're shaped by our teachers, our parents, our relatives, the individuals in our lives. There can be no wonder or peace if we hold contempt or distrust for the collective we. And you know, we certainly, in the last few years, and maybe for longer, have had the opportunity to really wonder what the heck is going on in some people's minds. And perhaps even hold contempt, like how you behave so badly, is some of the ideas that might go on in our minds. And yet the only place that we can affect is ourselves. And so being in a place of contempt, of anger, and fear, and judgment actually creates more opportunities for us to be in that place. And I'd like us to remember right now that love is everywhere, all the time. You don't have to send it anywhere. You don't have to send prayers anywhere. You don't have to do anything. You just have to recognize that love is already there. And if you want to do anything, then perhaps your prayer might be that the awareness of this love becomes the natural way for everyone. So I'd like to look at the 5 A's of love, and I happen to like it because I'm Anne Ahokangas Armstrong, so I'm triple A. And I'd like to look at the collective we as well. So the 5 A's, the keys. We know the need to feel fulfilled, don't we? You know, we know when we're not fulfilled. So there is this need in us to feel fulfilled. And the 5 A's, and understanding what they are, will give you an idea as to maybe what you might work on. So as children, did you notice how your parents did or did not fit the bill of fulfilling your needs? I hear some of you laughing. As adults, we look for someone who could be better or at least adequate more consistently. Would you say that's true? You look for friends, you look for a partner, you look even for a community that perhaps fulfills those needs that you have, right? At first, that means a replica of our parents with some of the better or missing features are added. And I think about some of my friends that I had originally. Think of some of the original friends or even partners that you had. You were looking for something a little better, perhaps, than your experience with your parents if there was something missing. Maybe you're one of those lucky ones where your parents fulfilled all your needs and you grew up totally fulfilled, and I'm so envious because it wasn't my experience, and it isn't most people's experience, and that's not saying that parents are bad, but they also have things missing. Their needs are missed. And so how can you fully give what you don't have? So we find a partner who controls but is loyal initially, because our parents were controlling, but they were also loyal. So we look for someone like that. As we mature, we no longer seek the negative traits, only the positive ones. And it can take a long time sometimes to mature to that stage, to recognize that you're looking for something that isn't a negative experience. Because negative perhaps was a natural way of being in your life initially. Then we look for loyal ones who let us be ourselves. Do you remember the first time being with someone who just really let you all hang out? No? You can hang out with me, Marcia, if you want. Whatever that means to you. Yes, I remember being told by someone, and I was so proud of it, that I could just be whatever I needed to be in any environment. And I thought that was just so fabulous. And yet, what that was actually being was me being what I thought everybody else wanted me to be, rather than being myself. And finally, we stop demanding perfection and begin to accept reality. We begin to access our inner resources, ideally, right? And I'm there some of the time. I mean, I have a fabulous partner, and I was talking to him about that this week, about how the word dominion came to my mind as I was doing meditation. And what I mean by that is that I have struggled my entire life by having others have dominion over me. And getting to the place where I have dominion over myself. And then to the place of surrendering my own little square box life to allowing spirit to guide me. I mean, that's an even huger step. And I hope that at least some of the time you're there, because it's a fabulous place to be. So the 5 A's are attention, acceptance, appreciation, affection, and allowing. And let's begin with attention. It is a joy to be hidden, but a disaster not to be found. Did you ever play hide and seek? And if they didn't find you, it was a disaster. And that's sort of a great metaphor for life too, isn't it? It's nice to be invisible even in a crowd occasionally, but to be that all the time is kind of a sad place to be, isn't it? So attention to you means an engaged focus on you. And I remember as I was growing up, I was acutely aware if somebody wasn't paying attention to what I was saying. And it, didn't occur to me that they didn't care about what I was saying, but it was like, I don't speak out very often, and when I am, I'd really like you to pay attention. And if they stopped looking, I stopped talking, because I thought they had to look at me to hear me. I've later come to understand that some people are not visual, and so looking somewhere else, they're able to hear me better. And so I'm a little bit gentler about that, I guess. And I just feel I have to say it, so whether they're listening or not, I say it anyway. It means sensitivity to your needs and feelings. And think about the people in your life who listen to you, who are sensitive to your needs and feelings. And are you able to be that way to someone else? Here's something that I thought was interesting. My father turned to me as if he had been waiting all his life to hear my question, says a character in one of the J.D. Salinger's novels. Were you listened to like that? Did you matter in that way? I remember when I first had my early stages of my relationship with my husband, Randy, I was so attentive to him because it just was so wonderful to have someone who was so attentive to me. And people commented that you always look at him so adoringly. And it was adoration, but it was also a mutual respect. It was important for me to be present for what he was saying. So attentiveness means noticing and hearing someone's words, feelings, and experience. With authentic attention, we feel we're understood in what we feel, say, do, and who we are. We are noticed and acknowledged and heard, and that somebody gets us. They don't have to agree. They just get us. So attuned and authentic attention is where our sense of safety comes from. And so if you've been going through life with a certain sense of not feeling safe, perhaps it's because that part of you hasn't been fulfilled. That need for getting attention hasn't been fulfilled. Just an idea. Acceptance. To look at others with acceptance and understanding. Acceptance means we're received respectfully with all our feelings, choices, personal traits, and supported through them. And I hope that we're able to do that here as a spiritual center. Have you heard the words unconditional positive regard? It's to be able to look at someone positively, paying attention to them, and unconditionally looking at them. For positive regard to be unconditional in a relationship, we must accept all the person's feelings and experiences equally and avoid making judgments about their value or validity. To just believe what someone is saying. Intimacy equals how safe we feel. And that safety is based on how genuinely we're accepted in early life. Would you agree with that? Yes. Because intimacy and safety really are almost synonymous with each other, aren't they? Acceptance by others can fill in some of what we may have missed as children. So intimacy is still an option for all of us. It's never too late to be intimate. It's never too late to find acceptance and to learn how to do it. Acceptance is approval. Think about that. If you're accepted, you feel you're approved, don't you? And it's necessary for self-esteem. Approval is only a problem when we give up our true self to get it. And I spent a good part of my life doing that, being what I thought everybody wanted me to be. And if I was approved, then everything was okay. But I was really hiding who I was. I don't know if any of you can relate to that. Acceptance is loving ourselves and each other by holding each other's shortfalls without judgment or criticism. And I've come to recognize that the more that someone criticizes, the more they don't accept themselves. And that's really at the foundation of it. And I can be more compassionate with someone who is critical. So can we hold people with heart and loving one another just as we are, acknowledging the limits and appreciating the gifts? It's possible. I believe it's possible. This is true acceptance. Full screen here, please. The more secure a person is regarding his own acceptability, the more certain his sense of who he is, and the more safely internalized his system of values, the more self-confidently and effectively he be able to offer his love without undue feelings of rejection or humiliation. This is by a psychoanalyst. And I think about the people who go out and on a shooting spree, for instance, and this is really missing in their life. They haven't felt accepted. They haven't felt loved. And if we can be more of that to everyone, even the ones that, maybe you haven't been, we can make a difference in this world. That's how we make a change, I believe. So appreciation. Appreciation actually deepens acceptance. Words like, I admire you, I delight in you, I prize you, I respect you, I acknowledge you and all of your potential. I appreciate you as you are. I invite you this week to say that to someone, something like that. Look in the mirror and say it to yourself. Personal worth and self-confidence grow because of encouragement. They really do. I talked a little bit about that last week, encouragement versus praise. So let's look at affection. To give and receive love is our primary need. We express love emotionally, spiritually, and physically. We have to learn how to ask for it. I remember a boyfriend that I had for a few weeks when I was in my 20s. And that was the one thing that he taught me in the entire relationship. And I think that was the role that he came to play. And that was that you have to ask for your needs, especially from someone who is going to be really close to you in your life. Because if you don't, they can't read your mind. You have to ask for it. And you have to ask God too, the God within you, to show you how. The word affection comes from affect, or in other words, feeling. Affection is also a quality of feeling like kindliness, considerateness, thoughtfulness, playfulness, and gestures like giving flowers or remembering a special anniversary. So affection doesn't mean a sexual relationship. Affection doesn't mean even giving someone a hug. It can be as simple as looking someone in the eye that you don't know and just acknowledging who they are. Affection flows from a genuine liking of someone. And you are loved the way you are. You are. The need for affection is fulfilled when we are loved unconditionally all the time and genuinely liked most of the time. And I like that because sometimes our behavior is not easy to like, but you can still love somebody even if their behavior is a little bit How can we show this both verbally and physically? Something to think about. So allowing. Freedom is the right to make choices and act on them. And allowing is the opposite of control. Allowing includes the support of our natural freedom, encouragement to act on our freedom in positive ways for everyone, and help to be who we are. Allowing is like a red carpet to fulfill our deepest needs, values, and wishes. So today I offer you my red carpet. You can walk down it any time you like, because you are a star. True allowing can mean letting someone go. To allow is to stand aside when someone needs space from us or even leaves us. And that can be the hardest one. Allowing both in partnerships and community means safety to show the full spectrum of human emotions in your own unique way. And it's my hope, and I have certainly seen it, that we can show our emotions here. You can show them with me, and it's okay. And I hope that it's okay that I just blurt things out occasionally, and even cry occasionally, even if it doesn't seem like there's a reason to cry. That's safety. That's acceptance. That's allowing. That's love. Allowing means the relationship is not at risk, no matter what your feelings are. I always knew I could say and feel anything here. To be able to say that, even if you might be embarrassed, to just do it. Allowing means each person becomes fully complete as an individual. So, you may ask as you watch the news, why is this stuff happening? It's one of these 5 A's, and allowing might be the one. They are not complete because there's something missing, a need that is missing. And how can we first start with ourselves and then do it for those around us? So can you allow others to see, tell, touch, and be separate? Protect themselves and pursue their own talents, relationships, and interests? Or do you feel the need to say, well, you should do this and you should do that, and have you considered this? Giving the green light, allowing. Full screen here, please, Julian. All that you are is embraced and loved, including being like your parents or not, introverted or extroverted, mainstream or marginal, religious, athletic or not, gay, straight, or any variation of sexual or gender orientation. I mean, wouldn't it be a wonderful world where we didn't have to say, well, I am this before you start a conversation with someone? I remember hiring a young man when I was 21 and in business, and he was about 10 years my senior, and he was a gay man. And the first thing he said during the interview was, "I'm gay, is that okay?" And I said to him at that point, absolutely. I said, there may be some individuals who might be uncomfortable with it, so, you just play it by ear. And he was just a fabulous man to work with, and he was with me for about 5 years, and then he moved on, but it was wonderful. All that you are is welcome by the spirit within, by life itself. Full screen here, please, Julian. We need the 5 A's to be a collective we that really functions well. So behind every complaint about a partner or group is a longing for one of the 5 A's. So think about that if you're complaining or you hear someone complaining, either in a relationship or just about life in general. What need are they expressing that isn't fulfilled? And maybe it's you. As adults, we can give ourselves the 5 A's and share them with others. Together, the 5 A's are the nature of divine presence. Because those 5 A's are what spirit is, the nature of spirit. And where is spirit? Right where you are. It's what animates you, and yet it's so much more. And so you don't have to go searching for it. It's already there. It's already here. So part of this talk was part of our book of the month. Came from David Rico. How to be an adult in relationships, the 5 keys to mindful loving. And though he primarily focuses on personal relationships, I think it really fits with our relationships with all of life. So we have a little video here which will be full screen, and he just talks for a couple of minutes about that.
We want to be reckless in the extent and unconditionality of the love we show, and we want to be careful about the way we let people get close to us, because sometimes it can be scary. And that's what's so interesting about love. It's something that we all want, and yet it's something that most of us fear in some way. And that is why this topic was of such great interest to me, because of that ambiguity, and I try to address it in the chapters of the book. So I'd like to begin with just a short quotation from the introduction. And I begin with a quotation by Emily Dickinson. This is in a letter that she sent to her cousins. "I scarcely know where to begin, but love is always a safe place. This little life of ours rests between a longing to be loved and a calling to show love. These 2 stunning possibilities, so tender, so fugitive, are the subject of these pages. I must admit, however, that this is mostly a book of guesses, as any book on love must be. My guess is that loving is what we are here for, that love is what everyone deserves to receive and is here to give, and that love alone makes this earth the heaven it was meant to be."
Oh, and love alone is what this earth was meant to be. Beautiful. So attention, acceptance, appreciation, affection, allowing. May we each reach the end of our days someday and be able to say that all of those needs are fulfilled. That is my wish for myself and my wish for the world. You can't see the top of that, I don't think, but let's say this together if that's comfortable. I am who I am, and who I am is just perfect. I am myself, I am loved, I am lovable. And let's sing Say Yes to a World with a Little More Love.
Great. Everybody's got a little something only you can bring. It's supposed to put it all together, need every piece to make it complete, yeah. Every note to make a symphony, all the voices singing harmony, all the colors of the rainbow shining, everyone, everyone. Say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes to a world with a little more love, with a little more love, oh yeah. Never feel you're insignificant, like a tiny little grain of sand. What you do, what you say makes a difference. Go ahead and reach out your hand, open the door, say hello. A stranger today, you might get to know him. Little love just keeps on growing, change your life without even knowing. Say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes, say yes to a world with a little more love, with a little more love, oh yeah. It doesn't matter where you come from, gender or race, spiritual beliefs or orientation. Everyone has got the same motivation. Love is love, same situation. Give love, help one another. In this world, there's only each other. One world, the human race. Yeah, 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 yes, yes. Say yes. Say yes. Say yes to a world with a little more love, with a little more love, oh yeah. Say everyone, everyone, say yes to a world with a little more love, say yes to a world with a little more love.
Aren't you working for it? Thank you so much, Reverend Anne, for that amazing message and reminder. There were a few reminders in there, I'm sure. I hope you have a great takeaway today. My takeaway, something happened during the week that caused me to, without realizing I'd hear it today, go to acceptance of others. So the little affirmation we said at the end, who I am is perfect. My takeaway today is to remember that everybody is perfect. Excellent. So we will take a moment now to engage in the spiritual practice of conscious giving. We want to thank you for supporting and giving to the work of this Unity community. For those in the sanctuary, there are envelopes in the back of the chairs. And for those online, we will accept your offering or contribution by way of e-transfer. And that e-transfer can be sent to the email admin@unityspiritualcenter.com. So let's together bless these gifts. Divine love that I am blesses all I give and all I receive.
There are no countries. There is just one family. There are no colors, just one light in you and me. There are no reasons we can't live in harmony. As just one people in just one world, you and me. There is no freedom if the people cannot choose. There is no victory if my brother has to lose. There are no boundaries that mean more than being free. As just one people in just one world, you and me. Yeah, we can sing together. We are one people, one strong heartbeat, just one spirit shining bright within us all. We are part of one another, born to love each other. When it's all said and done, we are one. The time's upon us, and the healing must be done. The world around us is calling all to act as one. There are no causes greater than the world we see. We are just one people. There's just one world, you and me. Let's say we are one people, one strong heartbeat, just one spirit shining bright within us all. We are part of one another, born to love each other. When it's all said and done, we are one. Take a look deep into each other. Tell me what you see. See a spirit in disguise, just smiling back at me. Over all the world around us, every little thing you do touches me. Oh, there is a vision that we all must realize. I love you too. Think of the children, try to see it in their eyes. What will we leave them if we never learn to be? Just one people, just one world, you and me. We are one people, just one heartbeat, just one spirit shining bright within us all. We are part of one another, born to love each other. When it's all said and done, we are one. love, we are one. Woo!
We are one. And remember, we're here to pray with you. There are prayer requests at the back of the chairs, and if you're watching online, please drop your prayer requests in the comment section below this video. And now our service comes to an end, and we will recite the prayer for protection. But before we do that, I want to thank you for being here, your wonderful presence here in the sanctuary and online as well.
So join with me in this prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And all is well. And next Sunday, for those of you that are coming in person, we thought soup might be a little hot on these hot days, so we're going to do baked potatoes. And I invite you all that are staying to eat to bring something to add to the potato, whatever that might be. Butter. Randy's saying butter. Room at the Table by Carrie Newcomer. This is probably one of the first songs I heard from her, and I just love it, and I think it's appropriate today.
Let our hearts not be hard to those living on the margins. There is room at the table for everyone. This is where it all begins. This is how we gather in. There is room at the table for everyone. Too long we have wandered, burdened and undone. There is room at the table for everyone. Let us sing the new world in. This is how it all begins. There is room at the table for everyone. There is room for us all, and no gift is too small. There is room at the table for everyone. There's enough if we share. Come and pull up a chair. There is room at the table for everyone. No matter who you are, no matter where you're from, there is room at the table for everyone. Here and now we can be the beloved community. There is room at the table for everyone. There is room for us all, and no gift is too small. There is room at the table for everyone. There's enough if we share. Come and pull up a chair. There is room at the table for everyone. There is room for us all, and no gift is too small. There is room at the table for everyone. There's enough if we share. Come and pull up a chair. There is room at the table for everyone. Let our hearts not be hardened to those living on the margins. There is room at the table for everyone. Let us sing this new world hymn. This is how it all begins. There is room at the table for everyone. No matter who you are, no matter where you're from, there is room
Wonderful.
I got that one right.
And we shall see you next week. And I'd like to remind those of you here and those of you online that this month we're celebrating some big birthdays. One of them happens to be mine. So next Friday evening at 6 p.m., we're going to have a potluck dinner, and then we're going to sing our hearts full and just have a good time. So please come and enjoy. It'll be a couple of hours of just community and laughing and eating great food. So see you next week, and I love you. Bye for now.
Thank you.